about that crypto thing before we went live.
Yeah, he was talking. I think he was about to tell us about what Coinbase is doing with creators.
Yeah.
No, I heard that as it's not the base. So I heard it in a Spaces yesterday where they were talking about InfoFi, how there's projects like Kaito and Cookie DAO.
Cookie DAO.
Wall chain is another one where
And
you
then
have like Yaps or Quacks.
Zeet.
Yeah, XEET. And InfoFi, you talk about projects and share, good information about them. And they were trying to make it to where they would reward creators for talking about projects without not make it spammy. But as of yesterday, Nikita Bear, who's the head of product at X, advisor of Solana, and he said they will no longer allow apps that reward users for posting on X, like aka InfoFi. It's led to a tremendous amount of AI slop and reply spam on the platform. They have revoked API access from these apps, so your X experience should start improving soon. So once the bots realize they're not getting paid anymore. And I really like this because I hated these people that would get just fucking thousands of dollars for talking about a project and not really using it.
Or even know about it.
Yeah. And people like me who are airdrop hunting and stuff and actually using.
Or Kaleo would do one post, and because he did one post with reach, it won first place.
Yep. Yeah. So I really like this. And let me see, the Kaito token. So I had like 30 Kaito staked.
Real quick, Colin, check your X Messenger. I sent you the link. Sorry, I'm a little buzzed. I was freaking rambling.
So I took out my Kaito like last month or so, and like yesterday they announced it, and it dumped like 40% or 30%.
Oh, I mean, the Kaito would go straight down on that news, right?
Yeah. So there's people. I know somebody with 100,000 Kaito tokens staked, and it takes a week to unlock.
That's why you don't unlock. That's why you don't.
I don't like staking when there's a cool off or a fucking unlock period.
Yep. That's why with moats, you either burn or stake. The locking thing to me doesn't make a lot of sense. Burn something to get the multiplier, and then just stake.
I won't say that because the aerodrome locks have fucking treated me very well.
You take them right. You can choose when to take it out, though, right?
No, aerodrome. I'm max locked for 4 years.
Right, but so that's the.
There is a market.
Token. Yeah.
Well, the locks are smart contracts or NFTs, and so there's a market to where you can sell them. The new Coinbase platform that's coming out is actually going to have a market in there to where you can sell or buy those locks. And it's usually like a 15%, like 13% discount. So there's a bit of a discount, and it usually matches the flight school bonus is what I've noticed. But really cool platform. And with the new one coming out and its relationship with Coinbase, and it's going to be facilitating a lot of the DeFi offerings, I'm sure, on Coinbase. So there's just going to be a ton of volume there. It's going to be multi-chain now and not just on Base network. It's going to be, on actual Ethereum mainnet, Solana, a bunch of different chains, like 10 or 12 different chains. So yeah, I'm real freaking bullish on Aerodrome. I know Drew is too. Colin, what's up, brother?
Hi. What's up, legal alien?
As he swallows his face.
Dude, do you have the Cookie Monster?
I used to have beautiful locks, guys. I did. And then it all just fell out. Now
dude.
Stuck with it, yeah.
Check it out, man. I'm freaking right there with you, brother.
You can't go halvesies. You don't want the Jean-Luc Picard. You gotta get the gotta shave that shit off, man.
I refuse, dude. As soon as I noticed I was going bald, I started buzzing my head. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy.
He's got this little rinky-dinky ponytail that's just like, it's like, bro, just fucking get rid of it.
Let it go.
Like, I knew as a kid, I was like, if it happens to me, it's gone. I'm not doing that shit. He's like, but I still got some. No, you don't. Shut up.
That's like saying it doesn't get hard, but I still got a dick.
Right?
Not very useful then, is it?
That's right. So Anyway, hi.
No, so the Kaito founder came out with a statement yesterday, and he was saying that they're kind of sunsetting the Yaps and they're moving cross-platform with their Kaito studio that's been a work in progress for a while, expanding cross-platform to TikTok, YouTube. There's another, I forget which project it is, but they're sending their people to Telegram. And then Cookie DAO is sunsetting snaps and making changes. So I'm going to be curious to see how that's going to fare for projects and airdrop farming and stuff going forward, because I know a lot of people, man, from projects that would launch a token and real users wouldn't get shit. If anything, like crumbs at most.
I launched tokens and I got fucking dicked for tens of thousands of dollars.
How was your experience doing all that? Because I know some projects have stuff allocated to founders and early investors, and they get unlocks fairly soon for some projects. Some other projects
I'm talking about like meme coins and stuff.
Yeah,
with Avalanche, okay. I did okay, but I probably should have got out sooner than I did.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Your moat, it's next week. They have to migrate everything, by the way, for 3 or 4 days. Then new users.
Yeah. Got it.
I didn't want you to think I was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The problem with a lot of these projects is that once you make a project, you can't leave it. So how do you capitulate? Right?
Never capitulate, Colin. Never.
You launch a project, and then they get mad at you if you make money off of it. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the creator fees are helpful.
Yeah, that is true. Like if you have creator fees, then as long as you keep promoting the project, you get something from it. But that itself is kind of like it requires momentum.
Yeah,
and
for it to be any substantial value, you have to get it to like couple $100,000 market cap, and
so it's not sustainable. A lot of these tokens were meant to have utility to be be
Colin, I thought somebody was just walking up behind you. That scared the shit out of me, dude. I thought there was somebody walking behind you in your...
No, I've got a compilation video.
Yeah, I see that now.
For Avalanche. But tokens were always meant to be, like, when I was pitching this back before ICOs were even a thing, like they were supposed to be for like you go to Chuck E. Cheese and you want to do some gaming, you put in a quarter, and that's your Chuck E. Cheese you put in $1, you get some Chuck E. Cheese tokens out, and those you could put into the machine, and that was kind of like the point. But then people are just kind of like, why don't I just put a quarter in? And that's kind of where we're at now. Unless you're powering the network with something and it's actually being used as gas. A lot of people are having a hard time understanding what the value of a token is. That said, there are things like app tokens which make sense, which is kind of, I think, the future still, and that's still kind of like the Chuck E. Cheese model, and that's kind of where Arena is going. But it's
Chuck E. Cheese?
It's dependent on utility. And utility takes a long time to build, and it takes a lot of thought, because you can't create an ecosystem around these things without actually having a user base, demand, those kind of things. And that typically comes with cash infusion and the promise that you can actually do something with these things. So, gaming was a really good idea. It actually makes sense to have gaming, because we already do that work with World of Warcraft had all these tokens, and then you had Chinese farmers farming these. Had all these coins, is gold, and then you have all these farmers actually farming it and then selling it on the secondary market as a real world asset essentially. And that never really translated very well, because for some reason people hear blockchain and they go scam, but it's the same fucking thing. And a lot of people also don't want pay to win. So it had a cultural backlash, but tokens, coins, all these things, they're meant to have utility. Otherwise, you're dealing with basically Ponzi schemes. So
how do you feel about fair launches?
There's no such
or
thing.
Like token fair launches.
Oh, shit, I was on mute.
They suck.
Well,
go ahead.
I've never had a worse experience in my life.
There's no such thing.
What's that?
As a
What do you
fair
mean?
launch. Fair is a stupid
or
word.
no, because I've seen prices hold up much better than like after launch than a typical airdrop where the tokens get allocated to teams and early investors and stuff. Usually you see a big spike sell off and then climb
And then
back
it
up
finds
for
its
fun.
price.
Yeah.
People are always waiting for the unlock. And the unlock schedule has to be so far out that people like just basically pretend it's not there. In which case, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of, I mean, Avalanche did that. Like we had an unlock schedule of like 4 years.
Canton didn't keep any tokens. The team and early investors, like all the tokens are out in circulation.
That's fair. That's what fair. That's the closest you're gonna get to fair.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's yeah.
Yeah.
But
then you have the other problem.
There's
Like,
something
how do
to
you
be
get the
said.
investors? How do you get the investors like incentivized? So this is the double-edged sword of that. In that
Yes.
you need people to actually want the token, and the way that you typically get that to happen is you have people invested in the token success, and then they create a marketing cycle for you.
That's the key, and with the team, to have a vested interest in the success of the project. So there's an incentive, to make it profitable. So no, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's like, do you want the project you're investing in to be profitable and people to be incentivized to make it profitable for everyone involved, or do you want it to be fair where there's no incentive? But in Canton's case, they're incentivized because it's an institutional chain. It's a network of these siloed networks. So they're incentivized by the usage of the network. Like they're burning like $1.7 million worth of fees a day, just from the sheer volume that's going on on chain.
Now NASDAQ has a validator.
What's that?